Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed this morning. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let me see something real quick. Look at this stuff. It's crazy. Anyway, let's do this roll call real quick. There's things I want to discuss about this this Tim Tszyu character and what he said. Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk. Salute. Dial Big G, Mark Wonderlick, Todd Swindle, Dirt Gang Boss, Rod Neal, G McCall, Ratchet since 91. TD Sports Talk. What is good, man? Yes, sir. Sam Mack Boxing TV. Rick Blackwell. Cameron Fields. Eric Jordan. Yolanda B. 513. Salute, sis. Eric Jordan in the building. What's going on? Geo James in the building. What's good? Jafar Cesar. Robert Singleton. Main Biker. My brother Mind of Mansa Musa. What's good? Tay Tay, how are you? KG in the building. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. What's going on? Derek Gaines, the legend. What's going on? Iron Levant. Bob. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ernest Johnson. What's good, man? So happy to see y'all. And forgive me if I sound a little laid back. I'm on some painkillers. Wow, and I needed it this morning. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Wow. I don't know, man. This is crazy. I'm walking around here with a crutch. But, it was crazy. Sweet Tea, good morning, sis. How are you? It's crazy. You go out for a walk. Not a walk. I ain't go for a walk. I had to go outside because I needed to go outside real quick. I ain't go far. And this lady, she says, "You need some help?" I'm like, "No, I got it. I got to work this out." She says, "I help you, I looked at her. I said, "Damn, my leg all messed up. These women just want me." Man, oh man. But let me tell y'all what happened in Atlanta. I got really I got annoyed. Mr. Shelton was good. I got really annoyed. There's one time I got annoyed in Atlanta in the hotel I was staying at the Embassy Suites, right? And Eric H, what up, man? DP Rocker was good. There was a bar in the lobby, right? The OG, the real OG, Mr. Mont, salute. So, Stormy, what's good, brother? I sent the link. So there's a bar in the lobby, nice little bar. It was open at strange hours. It was open and closed. And salute the main biker in that super chat. Much love. He said she was trying to cater to your other leg. Pause. You're the third one. Wow. That was crazy. Yup. So I'm at this bar, and it was it before or after? Y'all remember when we did the live streams? Yeah. Oh yeah, KG. Yeah. Oh man, I know KG appreciated that. Yeah. You should have. I ain't even gonna get into it, man. I'll let KG tell the story. Yeah, KG and Mansa Musa. They had a good old time. But I go to the bar, right? And I think it was no. It wasn't the day we did the live streams. It was I want to say it was that Friday. It was Friday. Where majority of the people were coming through. Anwar was a salute. So I go to the bar and I don't drink. So I ordered a pineapple juice. So I said, let me get a pineapple juice. Right? Light-skinned chick. And she goes, you don't want anything in it? So I go like this. I said, nah, I don't want nothing in it. I go like that. And she goes, ew, and walks off. So I said, pause. Wait a minute. I look. Somebody was standing there with me. Was it you, KG, that was standing there? And I said, whoa, hold on. And she went to go service these other two ladies. I went like this. I said, nah, just pineapple juice. And she looked at me and said, ew, and walked off. And I was like, hold on. So I walked over back to her. I said, Ma, I wasn't being dirty to you. I wasn't being fresh. I had to go old school on her. JDM, salute. I said, oh, yeah, KG, yeah. You walked up right after that. KBG, what up? I said, I got Invisalign. And I do that sometimes. Like, I got Invisalign in my mouth. Stormy, salute.
What's good, man?
Yeah, so I'm telling Audacity Podcast in the building, salute. So I said, hold on, ma. I got Invisalign. Now, I wasn't, trying to I wasn't doing none of that. Yo, I had an attitude. Like, she saw I wasn't effing around, man. I was like, yo, hold on. First of all, I don't do things like that. Especially at my age. I don't do things like that. That's number one. Number two, not you. Well, I ain't say that to her, but I'm like, yo, I know this itch ain't feeling herself. It is not that serious. Trust me, y'all. Anybody that knows me personally knows that I would not pick her out of a lineup. Like if she's walking down the block, I wouldn't even turn around.
Close
not
the
my
block.
type. Huh?
I said close the block. If she was walking down the block.
Yeah, man.
You say this block is closed.
There's some women that are fine when they walk past, you smell them like, oh, she smell like fruits and she looking good, and you give a little look. It's a compliment. But her? No, she was not it. Her freaking eyebrow, looked like she was aggravated already. Yo, if you aggravated, go home. Go home. Man, give me my damn virgin drink. Man, she brought me the pineapple juice. I snatched that shit and I left, man. I was like, man, stop feeling yourself. Yo, I was upset. I was upset for like 15 minutes. I'm not even playing. Like 15 minutes. I'm sitting in the lobby with my arms folded like, yo, she really there's nothing worse. Yo, here's the thing. Shorty, I get attention. And I was not looking for yours. That's on Jesus. I was not looking for yours. But one of the brothers told me, like, nah, she had an attitude. Man, I wanted to take that tip box and throw that at her head, man. That's how annoyed I got. You know what I felt like doing? You remember Superman? When he had the kryptonite that was making him bug out, and he started plucking the peanuts and breaking the glass? That's what I felt like doing. I mean, yo, that got me aggravated. There's nothing worse than a chick that's feeling herself. I bet you if you put the beautiful sweet tea behind that bar, everybody in the bar would have came back and she'd have got a bunch of tips because she looked 10 times better. I mean, that chick was aggravating. Walking around, I was like, yo, what the, man? So then when we had the function in the back, I saw her kept walking back and forth, and I'm saying to myself, this itch better not come back here, man. Don't come back. Because she seemed like the type, I made sure I was around somebody all the time, because if I stood by there for a second too long by myself, she'd have came back and tried to like talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Give me my virgin drink so I can go. You should have saw this chick. I was like, yeah, let me get a pineapple juice. I just went like this. Yeah, let me get a pineapple juice. And she was like, ew, and walked off. Oh, hold on. Give me my drink, stupid. And I said, wait a minute, did she think? I was like, hold on. I said, Ma, that wasn't for you. I literally opened my mouth. I said, I have Invisalign. Nobody was trying to be fresh with you, Ma. She said, oh, no, okay, no. I'm just, no. All right, you was here first. Can I have my drink? She like walked off. Look, just ask me where my room is, stupid. I was on the second floor. You ain't getting in. You ain't getting in. If it was about that, there was a whole bunch of other things in there that I could have freaked off with. But it wasn't her. Yeah, Mansa Musa was standing right there. I was like, yo, what? Man, I don't know who be in there listen, that was that light skin. I almost said it, but I didn't want to go there. I almost told her quit acting light skin. I mean, because she was yellow. I mean, yellow. She was yellow. Hella, mellow yellow. Remember mellow yellow? Yeah. Rod Neal in that super chat, he said, I didn't want to talk to her no more after they ran out of Bud Light. Exactly. I ain't going to say what I want to say, man, but I got annoyed, bro. I got annoyed. I was mad for like 15 minutes after that. I'm like, yo, there's nothing worse than the chick feeling herself. That is the worst. I don't wag my tongue at chicks. I never did things like that. I have a dental device in my mouth that I paid $4,000 for, by the way. And sometimes it gets in the way when I talk. And I tilted my head because sometimes you'll be talking and you'll spit on somebody. I'm dead serious. So I tilted my head and she thought, I was like, oh, get out of here. No. No. You're going to give me my drink and you're going to have a good day. Stupid ass. Oh, I was so annoyed. My brother Thomas in that super chat. Reef, what's good? He says, remember the old movie Mask with Cher? The itch looked like a dude. Exactly. And she was walking around sliding her feet like she was in her house. She had an attitude. Yo, can I tell y'all something? I don't care. It's my show. I'm going to say it. For many years, I didn't talk to light-skinned women, light-skinned black women, because of that. There was something going on in the 80s and in the 90s where I don't know what the hell was going on. Yo, when Al B. Shaw came out, he ruined it for everybody. Light-skinned dudes was in, light-skinned chicks was in, and I'm like, yo, they were like walking around with something. That's where that phrase quit acting light-skinned comes from. It wasn't all of them, but it's like I went through a period, almost a decade, I didn't talk to light-skinned girls. I did not. So I was like, what's wrong with them? Oh, that's their white side coming out. Damn. They mixed with something. It was crazy. For a decade, I didn't talk to Stormy. I'm dead serious. Quit acting light skinned. Because of that. That was a prime example. That right there. I was like, yo, I legit did not do nothing to this woman. You should have saw it. That's how you treat a customer? $700. I'm staying up in there. And that's what you do? I was this close to calling management. I don't just complain normally and just sit there. I did it in that instance because we were there for something else. But had I been staying there by myself, I might have done it. Like, yo, you fix her attitude. She down here serving drinks. And she got me messed all the way up. Get out of here, man. Ridiculous, man. That, yo, I was pissed off. I was. Ma, I didn't want to know her name. When we had the event in the back, she kept walking back and forth to see who we are because people started coming in. And they got crowded. And then when Deontay pulled up, we was all outside. She kept walking back and looking. Yes! We rock stars. And you're not invited to any reindeer games. Go away. That was the next day. Get out of here. Yeah, you want me to wag my tongue now, stupid? Want me to do it for real? Moral of the story, stop feeling yourself and quit acting light-skinned. Damn it. Her face is etched in my mind. Get out of here. Get your hair fried, dyed, and laid to the side. Oh, I was so mad. Anyway, good morning. How are you this morning, Sensei?
Good, man. Creator woke me up. I'm here. Got my tickets for the they calling it Fan Expo now. It was Wizard World, but
oh, okay.
It is what it is. See, they be trying to get smart, changing stuff up. It's been Wizard World forever, you know. Now let's change it to this to throw people off, you know. Whatever. But
crazy stuff.
I'll be going.
I trust you'll have a good time. That's awesome. All right, let's get to the topic. So Tim Tszyu, or Tim Tszyu, as Jamel Charlo calls him, he said Terence Crawford will never be king of the division if he doesn't fight Tim Tszyu. Scrapbook Boxing in the building. Salute. Always a pleasure. I was up last night. He uploaded the Joe Louis video. I was watching. I was up. I just happened to be up. I was watching that. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the OG Scrapbook Boxing. You love the sport. You love the history. You go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing. It's right there in the chat. Click on his name and hit subscribe and be thoroughly educated. So Tim Tszyu, let me say this about Tim Tszyu. He's earned my respect, and salute to the chat. If I missed you in the chat, know that I love you. He's earned my respect of being his own man. Before, I was just calling him Tim Tszyu's boy. He looks just like his dad, just a bigger version. Looks just like him. But I'd say he's for real. Not a marketing scheme. He has the backing of Australia, and that's cool. But he's for real. And he said what he said, and it's in writing. In the article I read, I think he says he wants to pick up a belt first. But he's very adamant, make no mistake about it. Bud got to go through me. That's what he's saying, pretty much. He's not a champion until he goes through me. So he's talking that talk, and I can respect it. Do y'all respect it? 154 is a very serious division. A lot of competition there. And I will say this, whoever emerges with that Infinity Gauntlet out that division, they had to have earned it. Because there's killers there. So as far as what Tim Tszyu was saying about Bud, Stormy, your thoughts on that?
Listen, man. So Tszyu thinks that Bud needs to go through him. Newsflash. Pandora already went through you. So
Stupid butts.
So you need to be worried about your place in the back of the line, fool. Huh? Because we don't give extra credit, for being dumb. Your people should have shut that fight down when you got that cut on your head. But it's obvious that you lost a little too much blood because the brain ain't functioning properly. For you to think about this man who is a multiple division world champion got to go through you when your last performance showed someone else going through you, I think it's time to sit down and shut up. You know what I mean? It's as hilarious as, you know, a SNL skit, man, for him to sit up and talk like that. I understand what he means, though. He
Right.
like
He's talking.
Yeah, he wants to talk himself into an opportunity.
Yeah.
But that ain't how you go about it. See, this is what shows you about these young folks of today. The ignorance. You see, you're taking someone who's failed and trying to instantaneously put themselves somewhere where someone who has accomplished position is. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Listen, stop me when I'm wrong. That's the equivalent of Mel Charlo telling everybody in the division, this is still my house.
I mean, come on.
And people done set up new furniture and everything that ain't there. And pull out new walls and put new kitchens in. But you talking about it's my house. It ain't. But when it was yours, when you could solidify, you had the deed in hand, It was WBC, IBF, WBO, WBA. Last time I checked, those are the deeds.
Yep.
They're happily in the hands and possessions of other folk now. One happens to be Bud, Yeah. One happens to be Fundora. Yeah. So Mel and Tim, why don't y'all do what you were supposed to do a couple of years ago and go see each other?
They're beltless now. Why not?
You see what I'm saying?
How about, you know how two people are fighting to get through one door and they get locked shoulder to shoulder? That's Mel and Tim Tszyu now. They're beltless. Mel abandoned ship for no reason. But I'm over that now. So you're coming back to 154 with nothing. Tim Tszyu, you lost your belt because your team in your corner failed you. That was their fault.
Are they still there?
Sheesh, man.
Are they still around? Because if they still around, I don't see them retaining or regaining a crown, with the stupid decisions that they make,
Man, listen,
I'm at home in the suburbs of Chicago watching on television. Those men are ringside in his corner, and the dude's head is open like a fire hydrant on a summer day on the city block. And they couldn't say, this is done. This is done. This is, hey, we're not going. They was like, send him, hey, what round is this? Send him back out there. Send him back out there. And, you know, Tim got blood all in his eye and everything. He was like, am I good? Am I good? You good. You good. Don't worry about it. We got this.
He had a whole crimson mask on. I mean, even in the post fight, he's sitting there with a mic and he just started bleeding for no reason. I was like,
the dude's head was open like a damn dam.
It should have been stopped, but that elbow happened like early in the fight, man.
Listen,
it was
the dude. I thought he had been taken to the slaughterhouse. You understand? They stuck his head in that machine where they put them cows in there. Oh, that's Tim. Pull him out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. And now you want to sit up and talk Billy Badass. It don't work that way, son. It don't. You know, we know that you're a tough guy because you've chosen to do this for a living. That's a given.
Yep.
However, you failed, son. And you failed due to incompetence surrounding you. And see, that's the thing. I want you guys to understand this. You might think that I'm going in on Tim. And possibly it could come across like that. But these are the people that he hired to work with him in his best interest. And they failed as a team. So until they get them shits together, he need to just be quiet. Yes, it's nice being an ambassador of the sport that you're sitting there and you're watching the other guys fight. Bud and Madrimov, you were sitting in the audience. Great. You watching Ortiz and Bohuchuk. That's great. You should do that. You should be in attendance, supporting your contemporaries and colleagues. Huh? And I think you were able to sit there through a fight card because they finally stopped the damn bleeding on the top of your head. Huh? So at least that's a step forward. But talking about that Crawford will never be the king if he don't fight you, dude, you need to show that you can come back from what you had, you know, in your last outing. It's as simple as that. And I'm not ridiculing. I'm telling you the truth. Where have I lied? You got to prove to us that you could beat Sebastian.
You got to run that back.
And Sebastian probably ain't even interested. He got that win like some of them do today. Oh, I got mine. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's your fault because you're people. I'm telling you, I'm sitting at home. I'm like, that's a bad cut. He's bleeding really bad. I'm like, man, they should stop that. Round 5, round 6, round 7. It's like, what? You done went way beyond the point where they could stop it and it could be a no contest, or it could be a fight where you win because you were ahead. No, you got, and then it got too deep in the fight, and they were like, well, we're beyond going to the scorecards and being ahead. So you got to try to tough it out, Tim. You got to try to get him. And Tim is like, which one is it? I can't see. And Fondora, who never took boxing advice from his corner in all of his previous fights.
Now he's
and can't see from the outside, y'all, by the way. The dude is blind as a bat. Okay? He can't see. But on this night, because Tim had blood just gushing in his face and everything, Fondora was like, you know what? Yeah. Oh, I got the rhythm now. I got, this is what they was talking about. Oh, this is what they mean when get the leverage on your shots. Oh, this is what it means when you say, let him walk into it.
Now he felt the jab. So Tim is blind, and now he knows how to jab. It was a recipe for disaster.
You see what I'm saying?
Jab. He's blind, now you can jab. Unbelievable. Salute to Eric Jordan, that cash app. He says that chick was Miguel. She was sent by Miguel. Salute Eric Jordan, that cash app. Yo.
Hey, somebody Google, because I can't do it at the moment. Somebody Google Sebastian Fondora's record for me on BoxRec. Just pull it up and write it in the chat, because I want to say something about that.
Salute to TJ in the chat. He says, no, I don't respect it. Tim had one belt that was elevated to him. He never beat Charlo, so he isn't a champion. That's also a great point. You never
He's
beat.
damn sure not a champion right now because Sebastian Fundora whooped his ass. Yeah, he whooped his ass.
But you know what? He's talking that talk. And this is the era we live in. People get elevated. People get elevated and they call, they never called him an email champion.
Okay.
Never did that.
All right, salute to Hen Dog. He put the record out there, 21-1 with one draw. So you mean to tell me that that's what, 23 fights, right? So in 22 fights, Fundora is laying on the inside, all 7'9" of his ass. They're telling him, stay on the outside, pop with the jab. Fundora was like on the inside, because on the inside, he could see you a little bit. You know, he could see you a little bit. He looking, peeping, uppercuts, hood slapping with the shots. Tall. He's big boned, but he ain't heavy. So he's laying them bones on you and everything. And even Brian Mendoza was like, man, you know what? Get off of me, and knocked his ass straight out, right?
Oh, man, that was bad.
But against Tim Tszyu, yeah, he got touched up in that first round pretty bad. I mean, busted nose and think he broke it and everything because he was doing his normal thing. They said, Sebastian, stand on the outside, pump your jab. And listen, this will be easy work. He didn't even train to fight you. So he was going to fight another dude. So just do what we're saying. Fundora laying in there, and the bell rings to end that round, and he raked his elbow across the dude's head and cut the damn skull open to the white meat. You know when your parents used to tell you as a kid, if somebody mess with you, you get them back, you bust their head to the white meat. You know what that means when you get to the white meat? That's that fat that's under the skin just before you get to the nerves.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. And when you see the white meat, the blood is coming soon right after that. Okay. Yeah. In case y'all don't know that. So once the dude started leaking like a sieve, it's like, so Sebastian, he bleeding from the nose because his nose is broke, and he out there, he's still trying to languish in there. And Tim can't see now. So he blood in his eye. He's stepping back. He trying to get that proper distance. And he was still scoring a little bit, but Sebastian found a groove. After a couple of those rounds, he was like, oh, this is what they mean. Oh, boom, bap. And Tim taking them shots and walking into him. And now he's swinging and whiffing, missing. It became easy. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Just like I told you guys recently when we was on the air, and I said, Edwin Rosario hit Hector Camacho twice in their fight. And those punches rattled Camacho to the degree that it changed his boxing style for the rest of his career.
Yep.
Tim Tszyu, Fundora might have to thank him for changing his boxing style for the rest of his career, because he found out that the coaches, the trainers, the scribes, us, everybody else was damn right and he was wrong. Use your attributes. Use your distance. Use your reach. Do this and it'll be a piece of cake. All these other guys, they can't get the sparring to face a guy like you. So know these things. You know what I'm saying? They know this. And I'm going to tell you something. He found that out in that fight. So even if he were to fight Tim in a rematch, he going to start that fight out standing at a distance and be firing at him from mid to distance. He's not going to let Tim inside anymore. And if he's smart, whomever else he fights, that should be the build and the work of order, because if he does that, he makes each and every fight 2 to 3 times as hard facing him because of his size, his reach, and the range that he can control. It's really simple arithmetic. But as far as Tim is concerned, he should divert all of his attention away from Bud Crawford. He should go right at Mel Charlo. Mel Charlo. That should be it. He should be on Mel Charlo like Shannon Briggs used to be on Klitschko. Remember how Klitschko, wherever he's at the restaurant. Let's go, champ. He's sitting down in the restaurant, reaching in Klitschko's plate, eating out of his plate. Shannon Briggs was everywhere Klitschko was. That's what Tim Tszyu need to be doing to Mel Charlo, because Mel Charlo ducked him. He ducked him.
He did.
Bud Crawford won't duck him, but he don't deserve a fight with Bud Crawford. He don't.
Yeah.
He needs to come back off of something.
You do. Check your Cash App, Stormy. And salute to Mauricio Sillyman, who's in the chat. He says, holla, Mr. Taiton. Salute to you, Mr. Maurice. Shower salute, sis. Almighty Lord JC in the building, salute, man.
Yeah, salute to the brother Eric Jordan out there with that Cash App, man. I appreciate you. He said it's LDBC or nothing. Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing to do. It's the thing to say. Like when these guys, because you know he's been out. That cut's probably finally healed, like last week. So now he talking. D-Man, what up? So now he could talk. Brother Cole, what's good? Now he think he could talk. And it's the sexy thing to say, you know, to get that Bud fight, get that Bud work. But got to get in line there, buddy. You know, Bud's on pay-per-view.
And what is with these guys who lose fights and then be trying to talk about going back in there with a champion? I'm like, dude, how about you call out Madrimal? He lost the decision to Bud. Call him out.
He ain't gonna do that. These guys are they're
Call
trying
out
to get their bread.
Call out Borchuk.
He ain't gonna do that either. He's acting like he's not. He's acting like he's not coming off of a loss, and he is. He's thinking he won by principle because he made it to 12. No. Only thing I learned about Tim Tszyu in that fight against Fundora was that his corner is retarded. That's all I've learned. I'm like, oh, that's stupid.
I got a video coming out. Shakur Stevenson is in negotiations to talk about a fight with Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina just got smoked in his last fight and lost his title to Anthony Kakachi. He got. So why is that a viable option for Shakur Stevenson? Why not Anthony Kakachi? Because he looked too damn dangerous knocking out Joe Cordina, who was heavily favored in their fight. You see how these guys are punks? You see how they are chumps? I keep telling you guys, what Turkey has done is help shine the spotlight on all the BS. You're going to go after a guy who got killed in his last fight.
Can I ask a question? And I asked yesterday. Okay, that's an option for Shakur. We all want one fight at 135. Why aren't these guys mixing it up? You see what I mean? And then people want to get mad at Turkey. Turkey needs to monopolize boxing. There needs to be a Dana White in boxing. You know why? At least Dana White gives you the fights that in the UFC that you want. If this guy's a champion and this guy's next up, they're fighting. The difference is Turkey got real deep pockets and he's not going to underpay anybody. If anybody, one thing no one's going to complain about is pay. Going over to Saudi. It won't happen. All you got to do is show up and do the best you can. Now they complaining about Shakur and, you know, now he's about to fight someone that a lot of y'all never even heard of. Shakur ain't been on pay-per-view yet. And he should have been. But then again, Lomachenko wasn't on pay-per-view until he got with Devin. But y'all hate Devin, right? Y'all love Tank. Why ain't Tank fans telling Shakur to do what he needs to do to get a Tank fight? I'm tired of waiting. This is boxing, y'all. Anybody can get clipped. Why y'all think Tank can't get clipped? Why y'all think Shakur can't get clipped? And then we're like, oh, well. How did y'all feel, the AJ fans? I know y'all still around here lurking. When that crap happened in my city with Andy Ruiz. How did y'all feel? I know how AJ felt. He said, man, I'd rather would have lost to Deontay. He said that.
I'll be right back, bro.
Yeah. You said that. All this playing around, man. See, exactly.
Stupid butts.
Y'all go right ahead. This actually makes sense. Y'all go right ahead and do what you do. But back to Tim Tszyu. He's talking that talk. He's supposed to say what he's saying. He's supposed to. I'm cool with it. But you can't just jump into the ring with Tim Tszyu, with Terence Crawford now. You gotta get to the back of the line. Let me get the direct quote, what he said. It was on Boxing Scene. He said, right now, we're going to fight for an IBF title. The chief executive of No Limit Boxing, he said, Terence Crawford doesn't own that. That belongs to Bakhram Mutashev. So we'll be fighting Bakhram, and we'll be winning that world title. So he's going to fight Bakhram. Then we've got another piece of jewelry for Tim, and we'll be looking at what next opportunities lie for him. Al-Sheikh is pushing Terence Crawford's case. Terence Crawford is his rider season ambassador, and he wants the best for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford now has got belt. He has a belt now. He's a guy we would love to talk to in the future, but right now we're focused on Bakhram. And we're getting that fight done. We want to win that belt, and Terence Crawford is also focused on what opportunities lie for him in his division. He'll never be king of the division until he fights Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is the king of the division. That's a direct quote. So they're going after a title, but they're saying before Bud does anything, he ain't ish until he fights Tim Tszyu. I think Tim needs to revamp his whole corner because his corner failed him. But then you got to run it back with Fundora. But Fundora's in the driver's seat. He don't have to do anything with you. And I agree with Stormy. He has to. I think he has to fight Jamel Charlo. He has to fight Jamel Charlo. Exactly, Mr. Mont. He ain't never been no king of 54. Like I said, it's the sexy thing to say. I'm the guy at 154. I don't know when. Why? Because Jamel ducked you? Okay, he did duck him. He also he got a $10 million payday for Canelo, and he stole more value in selling his soul, because that's what he did to Canelo, than fighting you. So he ducked you. But if you want to take that as a win, you could do that. But Mel's coming back. And I'm going to tell you something else. ATL Unanimous Boxing, salute, good brother. And I'm going to tell you something else. And thank you for coming out, good brother. Salute to you, brother. I'll tell you something else. Your privilege isn't going to help you here, brother. Tim Dog, your privilege ain't going to work. We know who your dad is, and we know your complexion, and we know you got a country behind you. But it ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. It's not going to work. You can try and use it. Ain't going to work out for you. You got to earn your keep. Oh, Crazy K, I don't know, bro. I hope it has. It ain't gonna help you. It's not. It's really not gonna help you, dude. What you need to do is just get back in the ring, do what you said you're going to do, win that belt, and make your case by performing in the ring. But the way he's talking, I'm watching. And they better not do it. What he needs to do is be calling out Jermell Charlo, but Jermell Charlo's going to try and skip the line. That's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and skip the line because of his name. Will that work? Who knows? Who knows? But what Tim Tszyu needs to do is, Stormy's right. He needs to start trolling Jermell Charlo. You ducked me. And he did. He did. So keep it right there. And a lot of this is Jermell Charlo's fault. I'll explain. Mo G in that super chat much love. He said Mel is a lineal champion, not the L, no L in the ring. True story. He didn't lose that belt in the ring. He didn't lose it in the ring. They took it from him. But that's also his fault. But let me explain. Jermell Charlo, this is his fault because as soon as Bud beat Errol, and Bud jumped up on that rope and looked right down at him and said, "You're next." They put the camera on Jermell, and this foolish mortal said, "I don't know why he's looking at me and talking to me. I'm not in the same division as him. We ain't in the same division."
Stupid butts.
Mel, I know he was at 147. But he just dominated your man. There was a storyline there unlike anything that we could have ever seen. Sometimes I wish that Marvel Universe stuff was real. Exactly, D-Man.
You fool-ass Earth man.
Sometimes I wish the Marvel Universe was real. We can go into different dimensions and see what happens. I wanted to go to the one where Jermell jumps into the ring after he beats Errol, after Bud beats Errol, and says, "Yo, I got next." You even break a sweat in this fight. So in 3.5 months, it's me and you in Dallas. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it was supposed to be Bud Crawford versus Jermell Charlo for undisputed at 154. Winner takes all. Omaha versus Texas. That's what it was supposed to be, ladies and gentlemen. It was supposed to be that. And the reason why I was supposed to be that is it was because after that, if Bud beats Errol, if Bud beats Jermell, he could have played with the Jermell Charlo fight. But the thing is, I don't think Jermell wanted to give up that payday to Canelo. He didn't want to lose the Bud, possibly. If you lose the Bud, Bud would definitely make the case, "Yo, yeah, now I really want to fight Canelo now." He didn't want to give any of that up. He says, "No, I'm going to go ahead and take this $10 million and not throw a punch for 11 rounds. And on top of that, I'm just going to ignore the fact that KK Kovalev got $12 million straight up."
I'm going to disagree with you on that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because even after losing the fight, he let all the belts that he had go.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No. But you can't rule out the fact that, yeah, he went for that payday. But not having a single solitary concern for his own career, path, trajectory, and we could call it some form of job security, to let everything go like that that's not somebody that you would want to invest in at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's no integrity there.
Zero.
And in 2 fights, he could have made the same money that he got in the Canelo situation, because remember, they never tell you what Canelo's pay-per-views are and everything. So there's no real affirmation that there was a windfall of money. He may have gotten a little bit more than he would have gotten fighting just someone at his division. But when you talk about the prospects of the Tim Tszyu fight, which you don't have to fight that fight in America. You could fight it in his home country, because that's where you would get the lucrative end of things.
Maximize the dollar over there.
See Devin Haney. You understand?
Right.
And then the built-in legacy fight that already had its own advertising and build up and everything was with Crawford. He left that alone. I've never seen a guy in such a solid position blow everything like he did. And I'm telling you, the rest of the guys in this division, many of who are hungry fighters, he doesn't beat these guys because he doesn't have the mental fortitude. He doesn't have the work ethic and practice to do these things. Remember, he trained for Canelo at home, out of his house, getting out of his bed with his wife and family, fishing with his kids and all of that on an everyday and day out basis, and then going into his little gym that he's had built on his estate. That's not how it's done, son. That's not how it's done. And like I said, you can't rule out. We knew that going into the fight with Canelo, the IBF was stripping him. Was it the IBF or the WBO? One of them was stripping him when the bell rang for the first round, when they WBO. So automatically you're no longer undisputed in your own weight class. So you're just gonna let them take all of your other titles away in the aftermath. You no longer have any leverage, you don't have any bargaining, and you don't have the respect. Because a champion who works hard for achievement, attaining the titles and things like that, you just let it go like that? You just roll over, like they say, and show your belly.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me more about you than any fight that you've had, brother.
Yeah.
It tells me more about you than any fight that you've had. This is why he'll never garner the respect coming from me, because I realize and recognize what he did. And to sit back in the background talking about these other men who are still taking it to the max, that's an insult to the ones who are working and in a laborious fashion to try to be the best that they can be. That's why a moment ago, when I was going off on Tim and the decisions of him to make the statements that he made, he could still do some other things, but to try to put yourself on par with Terence Crawford, who has known no defeat, by the way, through his process, and who has always sought to fight the other guys, but they were not fighting him. They were freezing him out. They were telling him he was on the wrong side of the street for years. And now he's in the twilight of his career, having earned what Canelo never did, by the way, because I just listened to Thomas Hauser in an interview yesterday over on a UK channel talk about Canelo has earned the right to fight whoever he wants. No, he hasn't. But this guy Crawford has. And in the meantime, along the way, they were hoping to age him out. Do you know that Crawford was like 32, 33 years of age when he jumped up there to the welterweight division and was looking to fight all the other guys? Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, all of those men were champions. Where are they all now?
Gone.
Porter's retired. Danny Garcia has been in semi-retirement. He's getting ready to come back and try to fight Erislandy Lara, who may go upside his head. You understand?
Yeah.
Errol has been in semi-retirement. And Keith Thurman is where?
Missing in action.
But Crawford
With a
has
pop
just moved on up to a new division and become a world champion against a guy who the other guys wouldn't face in that division. You see what I'm saying? It's like, please, you got guys out here who are fans of individuals, but they are not necessarily fans of the sport of boxing. This is why that when some of them, they go away when the guy who they supported or whatever is no longer active or has retired or got beat real bad. They disappear. But I'm here for it all, which is why I can say what I'm saying. The real men stamp themselves a legacy so that even when they're no longer around, you refer and defer to what they accomplished and say, you see, he set that barrier kind of high.
That's right.
It's not easy because it requires work. It requires diligence. It requires a little bit of something that you got to give up. It's called sacrifice.
Hello.
Which of these men can you apply sacrifice to? I'll wait. But they're readily snatching bags. Huh? Bags can burst, can't they? And contents can fall out of it. Tell me I'm wrong.
Negative. And this is what I was saying. We agree on that aspect. What I was saying was what Jamel was supposed to do. Instead of saying we're not in the same division, Bud looked you in the face and said, "You're next." He was supposed to jump in that ring and say, hold on. Stop this. Forget Canelo. Omaha versus Texas. I'm undefeated. Well, not undefeated. I'm undisputed. You got two things going on here. You got Jamel defending against one of the baddest men on the planet, and you have Bud having the opportunity to become undisputed in one fight in a third weight class. That's historic stuff. Ain't got nothing to do with Canelo. So I'm telling all these guys, stop chasing around Canelo. Canelo has Benavidez issues. He has Christian and Billy issues. He's at 168. Leave that guy alone. Leave him alone. They could have made money together. Forget that guy. Victor, we're not talking about Tank. What are you doing? Don't do that. We're not talking about Tank. When I'm talking about Tank, you'll know about it. Trust me. Try and follow the topic, Victor. All right, I'm just gonna say it once. Chi-Town's finest, salute. So Jamel got work to do. And Jamel is Tim Tszyu's responsibility. This whole mess at 154 is Jamel's fault. It's his fault. He gave Tim Tszyu room to breathe. Tim Tszyu is breathing right now because Jamel was supposed to take care of that work. Could he take care of that work? Now you got to ask, could he have taken care of it? Could he have? Victor, I'm going to tell you one more time. If you're here to troll, I'm just going to block you. I'm being very respectful right now. I'm not talking about Tank. I'm talking about Terence Crawford and Tim Tszyu in the 154 division. I'm not talking about Tank. So I'm being very respectful. I'm asking you. Now,
check this out too, bro. What if, let's just say, what if when after Bud defeated Errol, and that should have been lined up for he and Bud, meaning Mel and Bud, but he didn't do the Canelo thing. He went ahead with Tim Tszyu, because remember, he pulled out of the Tim Tszyu fight with a so-called hand injury or something, right?
it's very hard to prove.
And then next time he fought Canelo. But let's just say he went on through with the Tim Tszyu fight, right? You go through with the Tim Tszyu fight, you defeat Tim Tszyu for under any whatever the circumstances. Now you got Bud right there, right? So that's the next super fight. You got two big fights in Tszyu and Bud back to back. If you defeated Bud, you gain something, because first of all, you beat a guy, a multi-division champion, a two-time undisputed champion, 2 weight divisions. Now you look better, right?
Yeah.
So your bargaining chip, your earning power increases tenfold from those 2 fights. Now you got to see Madrimov, Fundora, because you're the undisputed champion, right? Do you see what I'm saying here?
So what happened? What happened to these brothers just not wanting to break bread with each other? After decades, and Scrapbook's in here. After decades, hundreds of years of us being forced to freeze each other out because of the business. Now these brothers are in positions of somewhat power where they can make calls. That was a call they could have made amongst each other, but they froze each other out. They don't see value in each other. What is this? This is what makes me sick.
It's one
Jamel
of the
was
most
supposed to
ridiculous
fight Bud,
things
man.
I've ever seen, man. It's one of the most ridiculous things
We
I've
are
ever
well trained, man. Well trained. Bud, I want y'all to understand something. The powers that be did not want Bud and Errol to fight. That's what it was. And when Errol put out that tweet and said, "I feel like I'm being played," he was talking about Al Heyman, man. He was talking about the PBC. And he stepped around all of that red tape, and Bud and Errol got it done. And I told Bomac at the presser, I said the money was never our concern. I'm glad y'all follow me. And I was mad at Bud for not taking the 60-40. I was. But what did I always say? I said, I don't care what happens. Those brothers need to get together and do it for what? The culture. Do it for the culture, because it's a flip from what black fighters had to deal with. If you subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing, he gives you a history of what black fighters had to deal with. Which is why I never liked Floyd running around trying to beat up on Mexicans and everything with a last name that was Spanish. It drove me crazy. He was supposed to fight Keith Thurman. He was supposed to do that. He was supposed to do that.
Check this out. In the mid 70s, Ernie Shavers, who was touted as the hardest punching heavyweight in boxing, even over George Foreman, Ernie Shavers was a guy, a heavyweight contender who was just really a brutal, bludgeoning guy. His outside of the ring lifestyle was a lot like Rocky Balboa, believe it or not. He was like a thug for the people, you know, and he would break fingers and legs and stuff. Ernie Shavers was a tough dude, man. And his mom needed a surgery. You know, she was in a bad situation, and Ernie really needed to find a way, you know, as a professional fighter. He was like, you know, stumped. He was a contender, but he wasn't a world champion, and he could really use a coin to help get his mom's surgery.
Right.
Muhammad Ali, who was the heavyweight champion of the world, offered Ernie Shavers a shot at the title. Ali could have gifted him money because that's the kind of man that he was. But he offered Ernie Shavers a shot at the heavyweight title.
Sure did.
And with what would come with the title shot was a purse that could help cover some expenses for what he needed in his personal life. And Ali took on the man he called the Acorn because of his bald head. And he talked about him, you know, hitting so hard, it shook up his kinfolks in Africa, you know, and there was respect there. Ali was a true ambassador for the sport, but also a true brother to his fellow colleagues in the sport.
That's right.
What greater way than to show someone respect in your field of work, what you do? You give a man a shot at the title, knowing that the money that'll come with that will help him. Like I said, pride with men. He didn't want a hand out, but Ali gave him a hand up by offering the world title shot. And if he had gotten lucky and become heavyweight champion of the world, that would have been a double entendre. But it didn't happen that way. But he still was able to come up out of some circumstances that he saw dire at that time in his life and his career. And again, that's an example of how men used to do it.
Right.
Huh? These guys of today, you wouldn't see that. You wouldn't hear of that. You know, Freddie Pendleton, who's been on your air, how many times has he said, hey, Floyd, why don't you have an exhibition with me? Huh? You want to have exhibitions? Let's have a real good exhibition. Because everyone knows Freddie can still throw down. You know what I mean? But at that same point, it's like if you're talking about giving someone that opportunity because they might really need it, huh? How about the other young man that Floyd sparred? What's his name? The one that they had the famous gym war.
Oh, talking about
Spatafora?
Wally Spatafora.
Yeah, that could have been something Floyd did to help somebody. Floyd is not a billionaire, right? So why is he making guys you never heard of, making them wealthy, making them richer in life? But he's not being an ambassador to the sport and helping real brothers in the sport. And when I say brothers, I'm not talking about black. I'm talking about the brotherhood.
Brotherhood of fighters.
Exactly.
Brotherhood of fighters, yes.
He could do so much. He could have done so much for so many. He's getting ready to fight this Gotti guy for the third time, you guys.
Oh, my God.
The third time in an exhibition. Floyd's career as a professional ended many years ago. But he has had how many exhibitions now? Maybe 10?
He had a
Think
lot.
about this.
What is he doing that for?
Who could he have really helped in the sport of boxing? This is all I'm trying to say. So Mel Charlo, go sit your ass down somewhere. Your day is done. It's a new era. These are new faces that have replaced you. And it is of your own doing, your own unraveling. If those who are close to you, those who so-called rock with you, those who support you can't tell you the truth, on this day, August 16, 2024, on Drew Titan LLC, I am telling you what you need to hear. Because you blew it. You could have had it all in your own hand with your own doing, controlling your own destiny. And because you had the greed bug, you lost it all.
Sure did. It's ridiculous, man. Watch for the hook in that super chat, much love. He said, the male that fought Castano in the second fight would knock Tszyu out, but something tell me he wasn't getting good pays at 154. Bud can still fight Boots. That's always an option, you know. And that's actually a whole other show, brother. Yeah. I mean, it's looking strange at 147 now. It's just weird. 147 seems like a pit stop nowadays. It's crazy. Professor X, salute to you, brother, in that super chat. He says, salute, brother Drew. We are here. We support you 1,000%, man. Salute to you, good brother. Much love and appreciation, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, man. I don't know, Victor. You're entitled to that. You're entitled to your opinion. The shape, the way 154 is designed. The deal is this here. Mel ducked Tim Tszyu. Mel gave Tim Tszyu life by not fighting him in the first damn place. Jamel says he's coming back to 54 to claim what he left. But make no mistake about it, this whole mix-up is his fault. And what I agree with is that he was supposed to fight Bud. He wasn't supposed to even bother with Canelo. Now watch this. With respect to Canelo, he got his own thing going on at 168. Nobody that is not in 168 should even be dealing with Canelo. That's my point. Canelo has his own legacy. He has his own thing. Just go ahead and do that. Benavidez should be treating Benavidez should be Shannon Briggs and him, Canelo all over the damn world. Let's go, champ. But it seems Canelo fans are cool with him not fighting Benavidez. So that tells me everything I need to know. That's what I'm saying. Anybody that's not in 168, I shouldn't even be dealing with that. Leave him to that. Leave him to that. Canelo says all Benavidez has to bring to the table is an extra 20 pounds on fight night, but you just fought at 175. 2 times at least. And you got a knockout one time up there against KK Kovalev. So I don't even want to deal with Canelo. He's trying to, hey, I want to fight Badu Jack. Badu says, hey, man, I'm all for that payday. He says, yeah, come down 19 pounds. We'll fight for your belt. What? How about I'll give you the finger and you go ahead and fight Benavidez? That's what he said. So I don't want to deal with Canelo. That's a whole other show. What I'm saying is everybody from 160 all the way down, don't even entertain Canelo. Y'all got your own, and you see, I'm so angry with Jamel because he wasn't supposed to do that. You were supposed to break bread with your brother Bud, and I don't care what you say, that's your brother. You were supposed to do that. Take my money. Either he beats Bud and gives him his first L, or Bud becomes undisputed in one fight. And that's 40, 47, and 54. That's historic. Bud could have retired after that. Say, yo, I ain't got to go no further. I'm good. Hall of Fame right there. And we can't say anything. We couldn't say anything. It was right there after years. And if y'all are not subscribed to Scrapbook Boxing, please go over there. He goes over the history. Black Murderers Row. It's deeper than what you think. Bodies getting frozen out, and now we're in positions of power, and we're freezing each other out. Tim Tszyu is breathing because of Jamel Charlo. And now Tim Tszyu saying, hey, man, Bud ain't nothing until he fights me. Man, your corner caused you to get your first loss. What are you talking about? Now you got Fundora running around here. Now him and Errol might be fighting. Errol coming out and jumping the line. I mean, come on, bro. This is out of control. Now, Errol and Bud did a great thing at 147. They did a great thing. I'm glad. I told them they need to do it for the culture, and I meant it. And they put the red tape aside, and they got it done. Bud won a clean one. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Now he's at 54, and now we got this. The thing is...
Hold on. Check this out.
Go ahead.
During the negotiation, with all the back and forth, up and down, sideways, and whatever, they had a rematch clause.
They sure did.
And the rematch didn't go through. Now, I'm not pointing fingers, but you went through all of that to even negotiate a rematch clause. Well, either it was what they call a double way, both way revert. Whoever lost had a right to a rematch.
Rematch, yeah.
Not only did Arrow wait to the 11th hour to finally say, yeah, he wants to activate the rematch clause. Once he did do that, it became a thing about, well, we don't know what weight it's going to be at and everything.
Yeah.
Then beyond that, it became, is it really going to happen? Well, then we saw that Arrow had some kind of surgery or something with his eye and stuff like this. So it's like, what it comes down to is this. The rematch didn't take place. Time was lost. Both men, if they were active in their careers in the time that the so-called rematch negotiations and trying to figure out what was going to be, either of them could have taken about 2 matches in all of that time.
Yep.
So once Crawford's team started focusing on the 154 division, and they say, well, we would like to target Fundora after the Tim Tszyu fight because, you know, he's now the champion up there. Now here comes Arrow like, I want to fight Fundora. What about your fight with Bud? It could have taken place at 154. You see what I'm saying? This stuff is a bunch of foolishness, this posturing and all of this stuff. We just want people to fight. This is why some of us have always told the people who listen to our platforms, be a supporter of the sport and not just these individuals, because the individuals will use your energies to state their case and position in the sport. Well, see, they don't think I need to fight him. You see, they don't think he's done enough. See, they question his resume.
Hold on, Stormy.
All of the same things that could be said about you, you're using that to not take place and conduct business.
Right. Now, let me read the stupid chat real quick by my brother Rod Neal. He says, Wilder did the same for Luis Ortiz. Blessed the man with 2 fights when Ortiz needed that bread for his daughter. Exactly. And that's why we love Deontay. He didn't have to fight him. He didn't have to fight him the first time.
Yep.
And he damn sure had to fight him the second time.
That was AJ's responsibility.
It was AJ's responsibility. He didn't have to fight him the second time. First of all, everyone didn't want that fight. They thought it was crazy for doing it. And Ortiz forgot to list his blood pressure medication. But he did it anyway. Cherry Girl, salute. Now, put a yes in the chat if Errol's supposed to be fighting Bud. Take over for me 1 second. I'll get this call.
Yeah. Well, going into the chat, there was a comment that I saw. Jay Bean, Boxing and Betting, he says, Bud ticket sales gonna hurt him. They won't bend this go round. Why are you talking about ticket sales, bro? Do you have a stake in what the monies that are going to be dispersed to people who fight professionally? This is not about ticket sales. See, that's another thing that they have put out there to the masses. The PTB has put that out there to get you to think that that is what makes or break fights taking place. It doesn't. Like I said, they never released Canelo Alvarez's box office because he's not the big box office king that they would have you believe. And they have you believing that because they sell you this type of information, but they present no evidence of that. And stop buying into the bullshit, because I'm telling you now, people watched Bud and Madrimov. People wanted Bud to lose that fight. Some people are even saying that he did lose it because they just don't like the fact that the man has been successful. But if it's someone whom you like, who you support, then everything is okay. Again, I said, if you want the greater good of boxing, you have to learn how to fight the fight for the sport of boxing. Because just as these guys who are fighting presently, a few years from now, some of them won't be even on the scene. And that's guys who have titles. That's guys who are contenders. Their careers pass and a new era starts. A new generation of fighters come along, and some of them don't co-sign to these narratives that you guys seemingly grasp hold of. And that's why Bob Arum spoke the disrespectful comments he did about boxing fans. You guys are looking at the wrong things. When Bob was talking about not making the Bud fight with Manny Pacquiao, because he knew that Manny Pacquiao was a friend and he knew what would happen, you never went at Bob Arum. You never talked about those things and said, why not make this fight? It's a good fight for the sport. It's a good fight. If you want Bud to be a star, that's how he becomes a star, by fighting another star. But that was held from him. And then all those fighters who were lined up on the PBC side of things, whom you all supported and everything and loved, you bought into the narratives about being on the wrong side of the street. Even when he made a deal with Earl face up and defeated the guy, you guys went against him anyway. So it didn't matter if he had signed up with PBC or not. It's like you still are going to support only what you like. But it's called International World Championship Boxing at the top level of the sport. And there are guys that come from countries that you don't know nothing about, guys who you can't even say their names properly, that are good fighters out here, and they get overlooked. How many of you knew about Martin Bacoli before he whooped Jared Anderson's ass? You see? But he comes from a place that you don't know nothing about, and he is fighting out of a country that don't talk about what happens in the Scopely, in the rings, in the gyms, because they keep that information because they always want to have a surprise to launch on your asses, because they know you don't study the sport. They know that you don't look into things and keep things elevated where your consciousness and you are aware of fighters. I talk about all the fighters from A to Z, men and women. But where the hell are you guys? And then some of you want to come on, but he's not going to sell in the box office. They're not going to bend for... Listen, it's not about that. It's not about that. Because if it was about box office, Canelo wouldn't be fighting Edgar Berlanga. He would be fighting David Benavidez, or he would be fighting David Morrell if it was about box office, because he would make sky high money fighting either of those two men this September instead of whom he's fighting. So it's not about the freaking box office. Take that out of your damn head.
We're well trained. We are well trained. They got us hoodwinked. And I'd like to know at what point in history, it was around the Floyd Mayweather era, where fans started talking like we're getting paid to be, have business discussions. I mean, we're having full-blown panels, like those news shows on NBC and Fox, those political conversations they have. And we're talking about money. I don't want to talk about that. But boxing has become as such that you can't talk the sport without talking about that. And being that we entertain that, we're getting Arrow versus Fondura instead of the rematch with Bud at 54, like we thought we were supposed to get. You got Tim Tszyu running around talking about Bud ain't ish until he fights me, because I'm the king of 154. It's a sexy thing to say. And then when we disagree with it, you have 1,000 Australians disagreeing with us. And you'll have Americans saying, well, Tim got a country behind him. Well, what country is Jermell Charlo from? Oh, I'm sorry. When he fought Castano, Argentina came in here and took over. And he was in there talking about USA, USA. And they got drowned out by the chance of Argentina. Why is it that black American fighters can never say we have a country behind us? You ever stop to think about that? And here we have Jermell Charlo, Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder. We have some powerful names before the bumps in the road. And we didn't nurture them. Well, I did, but we as a community didn't nurture the fighters that we had. You guys allow this stuff to happen. That's why I tell y'all, get off of Canelo's nuts. Get off of his nuts. Tim Tszyu was breathing because of Jamel. Jamel was supposed to take care of him 2 years ago. He's not supposed to be here. He's not supposed to be here. That's it. Canelo running up trying to fight MacBook Air. Then MacBook Air loses to Badu Jack. And then Canelo wants Badu Jack to come down 19 pounds. And y'all let him do this stuff. But then you turn right around and call Devin Haney a weight bully. You see what I'm talking about? And this be black fans doing this. This be black American fans doing this.
Who did Canelo fight for the WBC 168-pound title? The one that was picked up after Benavidez was stripped on the scale.
Oh man. This shit was vacant.
Yeah, but who did he box for it?
Didn't he fight that what's his name? Who's really 154 for that?
He fought
Yildirim. Abner Yildirim, his sparring partner.
And on the night that he fought Yildirim, a former challenger for that title fought on the same night. Do you remember who that was?
Darrell.
Wouldn't it have made more sense for him to be fighting Darrell for that title than Yildirim, who was a freaking sparring partner?
Stupid butts.
You see what I'm saying here? And they fought on the same night.
They fought on the same night, y'all. One was on DAZN, the other one was on free TV. And I remember, I remember watching that like, wait a minute. Nobody knows who Abner Yildirim is. We did know that I was his sparring partner. Darrell was fighting on the same night, man.
Do you think that Darrell would have given Canelo a better fight than Yildirim?
I'm not saying he'd have won, but it'd have been a better fight.
That's what I'm trying to say. He would have given him a better fight. Now, do you see what I'm talking about how the perception of what Canelo does, and they just, the powers that be, they keep feeding you this bullshit. I just said a moment ago about Thomas Hauser on that interview on the UK channel talking about Canelo has reserved the right to fight whoever he wants. He hasn't even fought whom he should. What the hell are you talking about? He's reserved the right to fight whomever he wants.
It's nonsense.
Now, how about this? With more accomplishments, does Bud Crawford deserve to fight whoever he wants?
Uh-oh.
I'll wait.
What?
Watch for the hook. And that super chat, much love. He says, pulling out of negotiations, coin tosses, and walking out first before the A side. It was time for EJ to move strategic by making sure the fight is at 154. I could dig it. True Boxing Night, he says, so Drew, are you saying you have never used the fact that Bud don't sell as one of the points that affected his stock when there was talks about a possible fight with Errol? Absolutely it does. But see, here's the thing, brother. Here's the thing. Those guys, Errol and Bud, put politics and nonsense aside. And they made the fight. Right? And I can appreciate that. Bud doesn't sell. Let me say this. Bud doesn't sell as much as Errol. And where he's supposed to be, if it's about accolades, accomplishments and things of that nature, Bud should be on top of the world. Why he doesn't sell? It's an enigma to me. It is. It's an enigma to me. It really is. Location has a lot to do with it. He'll sell out Omaha every time, but he can't. It's harder for him to take his business elsewhere and sell, unless he has a dance partner. Dallas is a hotspot. Maybe if Bud was from Dallas, he'd get that same love. But for some reason, they caught lightning in the bottle with Errol because of his location.
Listen, man,
I don't
all
make
of
the
that
rules.
is null and void. All of that bullshit is null and void about who sells and who doesn't. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The damn Kardashians television show is proof of what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm saying.
That is nowhere near the best damn TV on television, but it's been on for all these years because there are people with scrambled brains who like to support that kind of foolishness. However, when I just watched a week ago 2 fighters on an undercard of a UK super middleweight showdown between Zach Chelly and Callum Simpson, where these 2 young men, Joe Laws and what's the other guy's name? Listen, that fight was like Hagler and Hearns. Okay, that's what I tune in to watch with boxing. And because I saw those guys, I'll watch them again in the future. I don't care about who's the biggest box office, because the biggest box office doesn't necessarily mean the best. When I'm watching Terence Crawford fight, I'm watching one of the best all-around 5-dimensional fighters in the sport of boxing. That's what I see. That doesn't equate the biggest box office. When I watch Canelo, I watch a guy who is feasting on other guys where he has some type of advantage at all freaking times. It's contractual, it's sometimes physical, sometimes it's both. But you're never seeing him against the best. You are not. In the moment that you realize that, you will have an epiphany of what this is all about and stop feeding into the foolishness that they feed you on a day in and day out basis. This is why some of you now are turning your anger and hate toward Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yep.
Because he wants to put the fights on. He's in a position empowered to pay people that he would like to see. Competitive matches, not mismatches, not guys just feasting for bags, but want to see the thrill. How many of you, if you ever watched the Evander Holyfield fight, you watch him because he's exciting, because he's a guy, sometimes people be beating on him and he'll find a deep well of reserve and come back and get the guy back or knock a guy down. You're like, whoa, did you see that? You this is what you really watch it for. So why are you still attaching yourself to who's the box office and who's more popular and all of that foolishness?
Yeah.
When you were in high school and the high school valedictorian or the most popular guy from the football team or the most pretty girl or where the fuck are they now? Where are they? Remember Al Bundy from Married with Children? He was a football star in high school and everything, right? And Peg, his wife, you know, they look at the 2 of them now, they washed up. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's the reality that we live in. When are you guys gonna wake up and stop sucking the tit, man? Stop that foolishness.
Aren't the fights what we make it? How many fighters have you seen over the decades? Like, man, this guy needs more shine. You know, and he don't get the shine because he don't got the financial backing. You know what I mean? It's absurd at this point. You know, it's all bad.
Would you please put that guy True Boxing Night? Put his comment.
Let me read this first. He said, Rod Neal, our brother says, I personally believe the PBC told Errol, look, you didn't listen the first time. You're going to listen now. Stay away from Bud. That's a possibility. That's a possibility, man. I mean, I don't know. That's a possibility. Go ahead. You can go ahead and read it, Stormy.
No. You read it, and I'll let you comment on it. Because, see, that's somebody trying to poke the bear. And you know I don't stoop to certain levels, but read that foolishness.
My point is, Stormy is pretty much calling anybody that mentions sales stupid, but the same LDBC has used that as a talking point. That's all I just feel is unfair to call fans to repeating YouTubers. And he says, no disrespect intended ever. I'm LDB supporter for life. Yeah, I understand. The unique thing about what we do here is that we don't always, although we're family, we don't always agree. Now, I always tell everyone, if you want to discuss sales, there's places you can go for that. You know, I don't like talking about numbers. They make me dizzy. Unfortunately, numbers always comes up as to why fights aren't happening, and that's what makes me very sick of boxing. You understand? But you can go to BFTB. He's a numbers guy. You know, 78 is a numbers guy. You know what I mean? I just don't do that here because I like to keep it simple. You know what I mean? If you want to discuss sales and things of that nature. But I want you guys to understand that that type of talk, it trickled down into the fans, and now it's goofed us up. Because now we can't have a conversation about boxing without talking about that. Think of the NBA. I can't watch the league anymore. I was just watching what's his name that played for the Houston Rockets, Mario Ellie. I was watching just on Instagram. He says he hates the league now. He said, man, we all wanted to beat each other. Nobody wanted to play with no Michael Jordan. If you ended up there beyond your control, that's just where you ended up. But nobody wanted to play with him. They wanted to beat him. Now you get these rock stars coming out of college, #1 draft pick. They play for a team for 2-3 years, and they go where they ain't got to shovel no snow. And they want to hook up with the best players in the world, and you have super teams every goddamn where. I can't take this. That's why I don't watch the league anymore. I know I always got love for the NBA, but I don't watch it anymore. As soon as LeBron did that shit in Miami, I said, I can't do this anymore. That was a cheat code. You was only supposed to be able to do stuff like that on video games. It's a cheat code. Now, how many teams Kevin Durant done played for? Kevin Durant! I mean, come on. What if Michael Jordan played for the Bulls and then he said, you know what, hell, I'm going to the Knicks? I mean, can you fathom that? What if Michael Jordan ended up on the Celtics before Bird retired or went to the Lakers? I mean, that type of stuff is happening today. Boxing, we're talking about, how much is he going to make? And what about the back end money? I don't like those conversations. I don't recall those conversations when we first heard that Hagler was fighting Hearns. I don't recall my pops and my uncles talking about money. They were always talking about Saturday night. It was smoking and beer drinking, talking about who's going to win the fight. That's what I remember. That's what I remember. I don't know anything about no damn money. But it's a part of the game now. And it's messed us up. Now we on Twitter. Now we're talking about what fight makes sense because of money. I don't care. If Canelo's a rock star, he could literally fight anybody and get celebrated. How do I know? Abner Yildirim. Devin Haney better not fight someone equivalent to an Abner Yildirim. Because I already know what y'all gonna do.
Now I'm calling people stupid.
No.
You know, I'm gonna say this. What I realize is there are people out there. They don't like what I have to say because a lot of times when I articulate, it make you take a look in the mirror. And when you take a look in the mirror, you may not like what you see. Only a hit dog will holler when you throw. Huh? Yeah. But I'm going to say this, and it's going to be the last time I address you. Huh? If you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like what I share, my channel ain't for you. But I'm here as a guest to my brother on this channel, and we collaborate quite often. But nothing that I ever do or say is out or with disrespect. And it comes from knowledge and experience. If you happen to be lacking, that is not my issue. That is not my problem or concern. But you can direct those energies elsewhere, because as far as I'm concerned, between you and I, there is no discussion. There is no intermediary. There is nothing else left to be said. I'll leave it just as that. Happy travels.
Oh, I guess we're gonna land the plane. We're gonna land the plane there. I got a doctor's appointment here. I go look at this knee. This thing is, man. This thing is. Listen, man. Knee surgery ain't nothing to play with, man. I gotta go to this doctor. I gotta hobble over there. I gotta call an Uber because I'm not driving. The hell with that. Oh gosh. Stormy, you live tonight, right?
Yep.
All right. Let them know how they can find you, good brother.
Stormy B Man is the channel. That's Stormy B Man in all caps, but no cap.
Man, salute to y'all, man. Excellent show as always, man. Always welcome. My brother Stormy. It's always a treat when he's home. Man. Oh man, yeah. And hit me later. Let me know how that event goes. You know what's going on with that, man. And salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. And please, y'all, we make these fighters. And there's other fights going on other than these guys that are in the limelight. There's a pro box card. Did y'all know Jared Hurd is fighting soon? Y'all know that? Jared Hurd's back in the ring. It's a lot of good things going on, man. But we make these fighters, and we got to hold everybody accountable. So salute to y'all. Y'all make sure you have a good weekend. I'll be putting out more content because I'm gonna have time. I'm home now. Can't drive a bus with a leg like this. It's crazy. So salute to y'all. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat, man. Much love and appreciation. Tune into the Friday Night Chop session tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna do pep talk tonight, depending on what this medication does. I don't know. But man, much love to y'all. And I think the general's on. Let's head over there. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.